Well. The official numbers are out. According to Nielsen, which rates a little bit different than Samba TV, the Samba TV, which only looks at American households, showed a massive decline of 38% year over year for the halftime show, and about, 13%, 10 or 15% on the total Super Bowl. That looks to have bore out in the Nielsen ratings, and Hollywood is already coping and trying to cover up for it. Essentially, they sold out America for nothing. They sold out America to chase, a global audience, and it failed. Not only did it fail to bring in any sizable amount of viewership, the Super Bowl in and of itself was down. Now, you might say, well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Nah. Super Bowl ratings pretty much just go up and up and up. And really, if we look at, yes, the teams matter, but Seattle and New England are two very popular teams, two very, well-known teams. And in fact, if we look at the Super Bowl, largely 2022 to 2023, it was up 3 million. 2024, it was up from 115 to 123. And then 2025, it went from 123 to 127. So, 1, 2, 3, 4 straight years of improved ratings by as many as, 3 to 4 million per year, every year for the last 4 years. This is the first time it's dropped since the COOF. The COOF year, it was very, very bad. But last year, 2025, was an all-time record at 127.7 million. We now have the official Reuters nonsense or Nielsen ratings down 2.7. Leave a like on the video for a extra late night boost of good news. A little get woke, go a little bit less multi-billion dollars. I mean, look, 124 million viewers are still a lot. It is a lot. But 4 years in a row, up, down. So losing 4 million viewers is bad enough. But if you take into account that they had been averaging an additional 3 million viewers per year, it's like being down 7 or 8 million based on their projections, right? If you look at 2022, we can't use the COOF year, but 2022, 112 million, then 115, then 123, then 127, and then it dropped back down to 124. The dip in 2021, obviously, we know what happened there. We had the COOF and maybe just a random bad year. If we look here, there were some years where the total viewership did dip, right around when the NFL got woke, right? Right around 2015, 2016, Colin Kaepernick era. Well, you saw it dip down significantly, and then it peaked up in 2023, but not anymore. Now, is this a catastrophic loss to the Super Bowl? Well, no, I'm not going to overhype it, but I think it's really important to point out, again, when you're averaging an additional 4 million every year and then you lose 3 million, you lost 6, 7, 8 million viewers based on projections, on top of the fact that you sold out America for some mumble rapper who sings about dongs. Super Bowl 2026 hits 124.9 million viewers, down 2.8 million from last year. I mean, the cope is real. NBC's Peacock and Telemundo simulcast of Super Bowl LX matchup between Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots reached an average of 124.9 million viewers on Sunday night. The number of viewers watching a fairly mild Super Bowl saw Seattle defeat New England 29-13 to win its second ever Super Bowl. That marks a slight decrease from last year's game when the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs achieved the biggest television audience ever at 127.7 million. But NBC reported that viewership peaked during the second quarter of the game with 137.8 million viewers, making it the highest peak viewership in U.S. TV history. Well, you know what's interesting? Where'd they all go? It peaked in the second quarter. I know if you're not like a sports ball person, this might not be a slam dunk answer, easy answer for you. But what comes after the second quarter? Halftime. People tuned out at halftime. I wonder what the fourth quarter viewership looked like. Now, if the game were a total blowout, you can understand people tuning out early, but it was relatively close until, what was it, the end of the fourth quarter when they had a sack, fumble / interception return for a touchdown that kind of put it out of reach. The 124.9 million viewer stat comes from the live plus same-day Nielsen big data and panel stat. Measured by Nielsen, these statistics represent the average number of people who tuned in. Bad Bunny's halftime performance was an audience grabber of its own, reaching an average of 128.2 million, down from Kendrick Lamar's 133.5 million. So down 8 million. And you would think you're down on your knees gobbling the knob of the Latino market, and they didn't tune in. Well, the fact of the matter is, Latinos that liked American football were already watching the Super Bowl. And Latinos that liked American football don't like Bad Bunny. Any idiot could have told you that. But, then you wouldn't have somebody up there singing to kids about dongs and eating butt and stuff like that. As for Telemundo, the broadcast averaged 3.3 million viewers, which made it the most watched Super Bowl in Spanish history. But again, NBC opted to stick with, blah, 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 blah. Let's look at this. The number of Bad Bunny's Super Bowl viewers finally revealed after 6.1 million left to watch the rival show. I mean, it was more than 6.1 million. It was 6.1 million on YouTube alone. Then you had Rumble and the television channels. I think it was on RSV. Do they have a cable? Right Side News, is it? RSN? I thought it was on some sort of cable channels too, but I can't be totally true. I can't be totally right. More than 135 million people watched Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. According to CBS News, which is one of the most watched shows performer. In comparison, Lamar's halftime show in 2025 had 133. Wait a minute. Wait, Yahoo is lying. Oopsies. No, Bad Bunny did not defeat the lies. They're just, this is a new article. Oh no, this was Sunday. This was yesterday. So the real numbers are far lower. So here they said more than 135 million, but the real number was 128 million. That's 7 or 8 million people that chose to tune out. So, I don't know, Candace. Is it possible that people left the main broadcast of the Super Bowl to go watch TPUSA's All-American halftime? That's what it looks like to me. Now, obviously, like I said, you get you get two teams from two big markets next year. You get like the 49ers and the New York Giants, although they're a long way from the Super Bowl. Or how about like Philly or, the LA Rams get in the Super Bowl? You may have a boost, but it's not like the Seattle Seahawks and New England Patriots don't have massive fandoms across this country. The idea that they're being forced to adjust these numbers out. CBS put out that it was 135 million, but it was actually only 125 million. Right? So you have 124.9. So the first time the ratings have declined in the Super Bowl in 5 years. Now, you did see a significant drop here in 2016 after they got woke. People boycotted. Obviously, you have good Super Bowls, bad Super Bowls, depending on the performance, the teams in there, that can make it move by 1 million or 2 one way or another. But I do think that there's going to be a lot of cope. There's going to be a lot of cope. Bad Bunny was an absolute failure. Super Bowl 60 draws 124.9 million viewers. Again, massive. But the fact that it was the first time it dropped in 5 years tells you that people didn't want to watch this, that people didn't want to tune in. Now, last year's Super Bowl, Kansas City, Philly. I mean, Philadelphia is a big market. Kansas City has a lot of bandwagoners. So you could maybe make the argument that that's why that one was so big. But again, it's been bigger every year. So every year, who were the matchups before? I feel like Kansas City's been in it every year. Scores of last 5 Super Bowls. Okay, let's look. Here. Go all the way down to the bottom. Wait, that's not what I want. Oh, here. We had Philadelphia, Kansas City, San Francisco, Kansas City, Philadelphia again. No, yeah, Philadelphia, Kansas City. Oh, did they lose both of those? Kansas City won 38-35, and then Philly won last year. And then you had the LA Rams and Cincinnati. Golly, I forgot Cincinnati made the Super Bowl. 2021, you had Tampa Bay, Kansas City. Tampa Bay, defeating Kansas City in that Super Bowl. In 2020, Kansas City again. Golly, Kansas City's a dynasty. So, you could argue that it was a little bit smaller market, but I don't think when you look at the trends, the fact that it's been going up and up and up every year, probably not what they wanted to see. Probably not what they wanted to see when they courted the controversy, when they thought, hey, let's piss off America because we're going to get all these Latino viewers in who like Bad Bunny. But it turns out the Latinos don't like Bad Bunny either. I saw lots of videos of people saying, I didn't understand what the hell he was saying either. So the whole thing is pretty sad to me. And I hope it continues to go down. And I hope TPUSA continues to do more amazing things to offer alternatives. I hope they do pre-game, post-game coverage from like non-woke sportscasters. They should really try to take an actual chunk out of the Super Bowl viewership. But we'll have to see. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.